All right, the return of Paddy the Baddy is set, or so it looks to be. UFC 288 going down in a location yet to be decided. UFC 288, and the rumors are Paddy the Baddy taking on Drew DOBER in what will be a sensational fight and Paddy's first ranked opponent. Now, coming into this one, we all know the history of Paddy. The man is an absolute superstar. Scousers
don't get knocked out.
He provides sensational excitement inside the octagon, riding a 4-fight win streak so far. And apart from the last one against Jared Gordon, all finishes. First one against Luigi Vendramini, knockout, then 2 submissions, and then, yeah, a very, very tough, hard-fought victory last time out against Jared Gordon. Now, going up against Drew DOBER, now listen, this man's a knockout artist. He's got heavy, heavy hands. So this is a really tough step up for Paddy Pimblett and the first ranked opponent that he will be facing. Now, this fight is far from official. Okay, I just want to throw that out there. But the rumors are swirling. I'm seeing it all over the place online, seeing it on Twitter. And Drew DOBER himself chimed in. Somebody said, Drew DOBER versus Paddy the Baddy, targeted for May 6, UFC 288. Drew agreed to fight, just waiting on Paddy at Dana White. And then Drew DOBER chimed in and he said, we're working on some big things this year. So maybe alluding that the fight might go down. Maybe it doesn't go down. Apparently they're still waiting for Paddy. Either way, we're going to see Paddy fight soon, and it's going to be a ranked opponent, okay? And Drew DOBER kind of makes sense. Right now, Drew DOBER is ranked number 14, so he's just on the fringe of the rankings, and it's a logical next step up for Paddy the Baddy. So I want to see this fight. I believe this will get made. You know, normally when the rumors start to swirl, it's because the matchmakers potentially have reached out. Somebody's opened their mouth. Teammates talk, coaches talk, and all of a sudden it's on Twitter. So in terms of the matchup, as I say, very, very exciting matchup. Now let's take a look at Drew DOBER. Coming into this, Drew DOBER has a record of 26 wins and 11 losses. So that's a lot of losses, but it's a lot of wins as well, 26. 13 of those 26, 50% have come by way of knockout, 6 subs, 7 decisions. Now, the interesting thing about Drew DOBER right now is that in his last 8 fights, he has finished them all by way of knockout. I mean, this man has got heavy, heavy hands. So he knocked out Marco Polo Reyes, Nasrat Haqparast. That's a sensational win. Alexander Hernandez, fantastic win as well. Then he lost 2 in a row. He lost to Islam Makhachev, currently the lightweight champion, potentially the pound-for-pound number 1, depending on who you ask. And then he lost a decision to Brad Riddell. Brad Riddell, very, very tough fighter, but nowhere near the star power or the reputation of an Islam Makhachev. Still, he lost that, but then he bounced back. He knocked out Terrence McKinney in a sensational victory. And Terrence McKinney was riding all kinds of momentum. A knockout artist in his own right. Drew DOBER knocked him out round 1. Then he knocks out Rafael Alves in round 3. And then last time out against Bobby Green. A sensational come-from-behind victory. Bobby Green is so fast on the feet, so fast with the hands, beautiful footwork, excellent takedown defense, a tremendous wrestler as well. And Drew DOBER was not having a good time at the office. Bobby Green was too slick. He was too quick. He was dancing around the octagon. He was making Drew miss, and then he was making him pay. But like I always say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And in round 2, 2 minutes 45, okay, he had Bobby Green backed up against the fence. Boom, massive right hand, sat him down, knocked him out cold. Beautiful knockout. And that is what Paddy's got to be careful of. Now, Paddy, as we know, sensational guy, having a great career so far. Last time out against Jared Gordon, split decision. And we know the story. A lot of people felt that Paddy lost that fight. I don't want to bring it up too much, but in terms of this video, it is kind of relevant because it's his last fight. Now, I thought Jared Gordon won, but either way, who cares? It was a very, very close fight. Certainly wasn't a robbery, okay? And that's just the way it goes sometimes. So now Paddy's got a real chance to validate himself, to get retribution, to shut up all the haters, you know, to shut them all up, go in there against a guy like Drew DOBER, a guy that's been calling him out, a guy that's been knocking everybody out. And if Paddy can get the job done, if he can beat him, then of course it silences all the haters, because that's what it's about, right? In fighting, you're only as good as your last fight. That's why Paddy's getting a lot of shit right now. Well, maybe that's died down now. It was the Ariel Helwani thing, and then it was a really, really close fight against Jared Gordon. People were calling it a robbery, etc. And of course, Paddy, you know, he's cocky. He believes in himself, so he didn't take no shit, you know, and he was like, he stood by his victory, and rightly so. The judges gave it to him. And if that was you, you'd do the exact same thing. Going up against Drew DOBER, though, he'll have to be careful. Now, Paddy came to the UFC, knocked out Luigi Vendramini, Rodrigo Vargas, and Jordan Levitt by submission, and then Jared Gordon. But against Drew DOBER, he has got to be careful because that man, as I just went through, is a knockout artist. He is a knockout machine. And he has got very, very heavy hands. And even though Paddy says Scousers don't get knocked out, sometimes they do. And we've seen it happen. We've seen people get clipped. Now, in terms of the matchup, I give Paddy a massive grappling advantage. When I say grappling, I'm talking about jiu-jitsu. And that's going to be Paddy's path to victory. If this fight gets made, which I think it will, because I think it makes all the sense in the world. Paddy's not fighting on UFC London, by the way. So UFC 288, May 6th, that's about the right time, the right turnaround. Gives him 5 months from his last fight. So it makes all the sense in the world. So as I say, against Drew DOBER, the plan is going to be, without question, he's got to look to grapple. He's got to look to take him down and take his back. And that is what Paddy does best. He is incredibly inventive, explosive, and exciting. And the way he takes the back, you know, he has some of the best back takes in all of mixed martial arts. So that's why, and that's what Paddy the Baddy's got to do coming into this fight. He can't stand there and trade. I mean, he will stand there and trade because that's how fights start, on the feet, and you have no choice. But he's going to look to use the strikes to set up a takedown or to set up a standing back take and drag him down to the floor. That would be the path to victory. For Drew DOBER, it's more of the same. It's more what he always does. Go out there, look for the big shot, look for the chin, and look to put him to sleep. So there it is, Drew DOBER, Paddy the Baddy. Who do you think wins that one? Now, UFC 288, if I'm not mistaken, rumored to be on that card as well, is two tremendous fights. One in the lightweight division, the return of Charles do Bronx Oliveira. Yes, the people's champ, who lost his belt quite recently to Islam Makhachev, who was a very dominant and exciting fighter. I used to say it, and I'll still say it, the most exciting fighter in mixed martial arts. Charles Oliveira is the man, and I love what he does. The most submissions in the history of the UFC on a 10 or 11 fight win streak. They were all stoppages until he ran into Islam, and he's going up against Beneil Dariush in what is a sensational fight. Two of the most technical guys. Beneil is an incredible grappler, incredible striker, very, very well-rounded, and kind of being overlooked. So Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush, potential number one contender matchup, and Islam's next opponent, because Charles has been calling for a rematch, and Beneil deserves a title shot. And if he gets through Charles Oliveira, that's got to happen. And then also Henry Cejudo, the return of the king of cringe, going up against Aljamain Sterling. Or if you speak to Henry, Aljamain Sterling. Not my words. I got respect for the bantamweight champion of the world. But there it is. There's some rumored fights going down. UFC 288, May 6th. Location yet to be announced. Hopefully I'll be there. But still, Paddy the Baddy versus Drew DOBER. Who do you think wins? How does this one go down? And have you subscribed and rang the bell? There it is. There's the video. Take it easy. I'll see you soon.